Hey, Tom from the Cybertech Group here. I'm back in the Wizard's Lair for a quick video on exploring the airwaves. But before I begin, I want to mention that this month is Cybertech's 33rd anniversary, and to mark over 3 decades of existence, we're going to start doing videos on various topics. But for now, you might have come across pieces of electronics equipment that look like what you see on the screen. You may have found one at a tag sale or at your grandparents' place. They are non-broadcast radio communications receivers, commonly known as police scanners. As the name implies, they can monitor public safety radio communications, which is legal in the United States. In addition to fire, police, and EMS calls, you can hear aircraft communications, which is one of my favorite things to monitor. If you live near a rail line or navigable waterway, you'll hear train and marine traffic. You can hear ham radio operators, and you can also get weather information and alerts from NOAA Weather Radio. Okay, let's start. So here in front of us is a Uniden BC-760XLT base or mobile police scanner. It's a basic model that's probably about 20 years old now. I think this came from either Goodwill or a Hamfest, ham radio swap meet. It's got 100 channels and it has some preset searches. Right now I'm cycling through a list of radio frequencies that are commonly allocated for fire and emergency services. There are other service searches that this will do as well, and we'll get into those later. But there are a few controls you want to be aware of. On the left here is a combination of volume and squelch. Squelch is actually a bit of a coarse sensitivity adjustment. And what you would typically do is, while the unit is scanning, after you turn it on, now it's off, we rotate it, turn the unit on, you would then adjust the squelch clockwise until you hear that static noise, and then back it off counterclockwise until it goes away. In addition to the various service search buttons, another button you're going to want to be aware of is the hold button, which will pause a frequency search that's in progress, as well as the enter button up on the upper right that will automatically store whatever frequency you're stopped on into whatever memory is there on the left. In this case, it is memory 3. And if we hit manual, 3, manual, you'll see the frequency we stopped on, 462.975 megahertz, is programmed up into the memory. Alright, now let's take a look at the back end of the scanner. Alright, looking at the back side of the scanner, the two connections you need to be concerned with for this exercise are the antenna connector on the left. Typically these scanners came with a little telescoping whip antenna that would just plug into that connector and you would extend it. This one did not have it, so we're going to be using the antenna I have here on the roof of the Wizard's Lair. And then this connector on the right here plugs in your power supply or wall wart. In this case, this scanner requires 13.8 or a nominal 12 volts DC. I don't have the original wall wart, however, I happen to find a 12 volt power supply that will work just fine for it. Okay, let's put the connections onto the scanner here. As you see, I have a BNC connector here. This is a BNC male. The scanner has a BNC female, and it just slides into place. Line the notches up and twist it clockwise a little bit, and that's all locked in. Likewise, the power connector. This is just a coaxial power plug, and that too will plug right into the back of the scanner. Alright, let's do some searching. Okay, I have the scanner turned on here, and it hasn't been turned on a while, so the memory channels are all empty. I am on memory channel 1, and as you see, all the zeros there indicate an empty memory waiting to be programmed up with something. First thing we're going to do is check to make sure this thing actually works. And the easiest way to do that is to hit this WX, or NOAA Weather Radio button.
Impact. Gusty winds could knock down trillions and blow around unsecured objects.
And as you see, one of the first things that came across was my local NOAA weather radio station on 162.400 megahertz. So as you see, if you just turn on a scanner such as this Uniden and hit WX, you'll automatically hit your NOAA weather radio station, and you'll be able to hear weather conditions and get weather alerts and warnings. I'm going to turn on the aircraft band, and we'll probably hear something flying overhead. Let's see what we're going to do. Now, in order to do an aircraft service search, I'm going to hit that aircraft button right there. And we're going to scan through until we hear something, hit hold, and then hit enter to program it into memory 1.
9:10 p.m. 6-mile reef around.
Alright, so there's an air traffic control channel on 125.7. And that's one of the fairly distant ones for this area, but it's still coming in pretty strong. So I'm going to hit E, put that in memory 1. Then I'm going to hit manual, go to memory 2, and hit the aircraft button again. And let's get about 3 or 4 frequencies in there. So I've got 4 frequencies. We'll hit 1 in manual. We found 125.700 megahertz, 132.100 megahertz, 120.150 megahertz, 128.325 megahertz, and that's it. So I managed in this short amount of time to find 4 frequencies to listen to. Now that I have them programmed up in memory, I can scan through and enjoy doing a little monitoring. Right now the scanner is held on channel 4, so if I just hit the scan button, it'll start cycling through those 4 channels and I'll be good to go. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you do, like us and subscribe to our blog at cybertechgroup.wordpress.com. Thank you.